Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Let's pop a squat really quick. We got something pretty neat that I didn't even know existed until more recently, and we're going to be installing it on the tow rig today. So if you guys aren't regular viewers of the channel, welcome. My name is Chris. I do a fabrication shop. I mess with some cool stuff, and I do some drifting and some track stuff, and I just picked up this Tundra recently as a cheap daily slash tow rig because it's a V8 one and it pulls good. But a big issue with this truck is the radio in it really sucks. Now let me show you. The reason this radio sucks, and it's already got an aftermarket head unit in here, but it's really low quality, and the biggest issue I have is it's locked. So it doesn't let me do anything with it. And what I mean by that is like Bluetooth locked. Basically anything that isn't your very basic radio doesn't let me, enter any of the menu settings, doesn't let me do Bluetooth. I think this is probably a hookup for, direct power to your phone to sync it, but I don't like doing that. But yeah, it's like we go over here to settings or something, system. Yeah, see, half the stuff is grayed out, so it's like, doesn't let me do anything. I have to go in here to Bluetooth, phone connectivity, doesn't let me connect iPhone because this is like an Android only type thing. And that's the other issue, is it's Android only, and your boy has an iPhone, so let's get rid of this piece of garbage and let's put in something a little bit better. We're going to do a quick unboxing. Now, I'm not talking about the McDonald's, that's just going to be my breakfast, but I'm talking about this right here, the Maxpeedingrods. This is the Q96. This is I believe their newest version of this, 7-inch touchscreen. It is obviously a head unit, a radio, so it's got Android power, it's got Apple CarPlay. It says CarPlay, I just can't use the term Apple because copyrights, but and it works pretty darn good from what I've been told and from what I've seen. Now they also sent us, I believe this is a backup camera as well, because this has backup camera capabilities, and in this truck it'd be great because this is factory ride height, and these trucks have, I think all trucks have a rake, so the front is a bit lower than the rear, so trying to back this thing up because it is a full cab with a long bed, it's a little sketchy because you can't see over the bed, so having the backup camera is going to be super nice. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to get this thing unboxed really quick, and yeah, we'll see what's in here. Alright, to start things off, they give you some plastic trim removal tools to help take apart your interior. You have your welcome card type thing. This is going to be, I'd imagine, the faceplate for the radio. They give you harnesses that are all color coded and labeled as well. You have RCA hookups, not sure exactly what that's for. I'd imagine a sub, sound system type stuff. I don't have one, at least not yet in this vehicle, maybe later. But this is a USB-C to USB-C to USB-A, whatever, normal adapter, whatever, so you can plug in your stuff. I think that's for a memory card. If I had to imagine, they give you a nice microfiber towel to clean the unit. You have your brackets, mounting brackets, and the unit itself, I have not seen this yet. So let's open this thing up. Nicely packaged, floating in the box, that way if somebody drops it, it won't get damaged. And look at that. It's even got their logo right there, so that's pretty sweet. But overall, the unit is super thin, pretty darn lightweight. I noticed there is a fan on the back and a fuse, so I'd imagine, it'll trip its own circuit if it has issues, and it's nice that it has the fan. I've seen an install video before from a fellow YouTuber, and you can actually adjust fan settings, I believe, on this, so we'll mess with that once we get in here. But yeah, no, touch dial. It's got aux port, it's got USB-C and a normal USB port there. And overall, it looks like a pretty decent build. Now, I'm not going to take this wrapper off until it's in the vehicle because I don't want to scratch the screen, because I do believe the screen is glass on this. Now that we've seen it out of the box, it's only a radio, there's only so much I can really try to brag to you about. Let's get this truck taken apart. First time doing it, and I'm really hoping that the previous owner that installed that harness or that radio didn't hack up the loom, because I want this to go as seamless as possible. And also, mind you, for later in the video when we do the audio and stuff, my speakers in the truck are totally blown. I was trying to have a set ready for this video, but time is against me, and I'm filming this on 4th of July where I actually have a few hours to spare, but stores are closed, so I can't go get any speakers, and I didn't think to order any online. So be warned, later in the video when we do audio, the speakers are terribly blown in the truck, so that's next up. But this was first things first because I have it available and it's ready to go in. So let's get in there, let's start taking that thing apart. So it's not so much a tutorial on how to take this truck apart in specific, but you know, you can figure it out for your own vehicle. In this case, on this Tundra, I've never done this before, but I did find a screw in each thing, and then I believe you just pull each of these knobs off and pry it out. So we'll give that a shot, see what happens. So I got everything apart. This is something I've never seen before. This is a 2006 Toyota. So it has this adapter here because this is the model that has the factory JBL sound system in it. So it has factory subwoofer and stuff. So I looked up the part number on this thing. Basically, it just allows you to keep controls of everything and, you know, work with the wiring on this particular truck. So it's a little confusing, but after going through it here, doing some digging and cross-referencing on, you know, wiring schematics for the new unit and the website that this is sold on, kind of just looked down here and saw that there's a connector on this side labeled radio harness. So I just unplugged that, and this has the most, you know, butt connector looking style connectors, and I unplugged this black connector right here from the old Pioneer radio. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the assumption that I just gotta, you know, unsplice all this and try and match up all the colors on the new unit here, which I'm gonna go through and make sure a lot of them are matching, but if they aren't, you know, we do have the manual there, and then I just got to figure out the factory colors for all this. But there is, on this thing's website, it has the schematic. So I'm gonna go ahead and figure this part out. Okay, so I'm at this point now. We're about to start wiring things in. I got the pigtail from this adapter all fanned out and, you know, bare wires showing. So right here we have, this is for this piece, the pack module for me. So I have the diagram here, and thankfully this does all match up with what is here on the Maxpeedingrods harness. So it is all labeled on here. So at this rate, all we have to do is just match all the wires up. So it'll probably be a lot easier for some of you guys, other guys that may be like this. And yeah, so now we can go ahead and we can just try and splice all these things up, and it should work. I got all the wires butt connected. I just got to heat shrink, you know, heat up all the heat shrink here. I just want to make note, the only real difference I found is a couple of these wires don't match what the diagram shows. So in this case, I tied in, you can see this one's labeled back for backup camera. On the booklet here, it shows it being a pink connector, but here in person, at least on my harness, it is a brown wire. So again, everything's labeled. I think there's one or two other wires that were the same way, where it was labeled differently than the color, which I believe was down here for the, oh yeah, the key 1 and key 2 wires. In this one, it is orange and black and then brown. So on the harness with the radio, there's no orange and black, but there is the brown. So I just went corresponding to, you know, the schematics for this jumper as compared to the booklet here. So other than that, everything else went together fine. Again, just going to heat shrink this really quick, and then we should be able to plug it all in, and it should work. And then the backup camera again, so this is in the instructions, but just for a visual here, this is the shorter of the two harnesses that you get. This is one that plugs into the back of the unit. It'll have, in my case, it's supposed to be a red wire on their diagram, which is right here, but mine's white, so same thing. And then the red wire coming off of the other end is where you would get your reverse light signal. So you can get that either at your taillight harness area, or you can find it here under the dash. Either or, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but for the short term, this stuff is good. So let's go ahead, get this wrapped up, plugged in, and make sure this unit even turns on, and then we can try and get it set up in the dash. I'm hoping that my other you know, thing here, this casing, will work with the new unit, and I don't know, we'll see, but we'll get this put in and we'll test it. Oh, suppose it helps if I plug the converter back into the dashboard. Alright. Well. Oh, the antenna's not hooked up and I can't reach it, but we'll see if we can hook up the Bluetooth. Okay, so I did figure out how to get to the Bluetooth. So we'll go home. I forget this is basically a tablet, so you'll just swipe down Bluetooth right there. That'll bring you to the Bluetooth home screen right here. And we can go here, set the pin. So because I'll change the pin, but just for video's sake right now, we'll log in. So it's just defaulted. So you'll open up your Bluetooth, you'll find the device as Maxpeedingrods, hit the pin number, and we are connected. So now you can see the phone icon showing up over here. So now we should be able to go ahead and, you know, let's see what it does for the CarPlay side of things. See if we can just play one of the songs we were just listening to. Okay, I think I found it. We went to the phone icon, so now I got a notification saying finish setting up CarPlay. So use CarPlay with Z-Link, which is the app that they use on here. There we go. It's working. So we got, you know, here's my GPS based off the shop location. I don't know why it has Missouri as my favorites, but whatever. And then yeah, you can see all my Apple device stuff here. So also, because this is a tablet, I noticed while I was trying to dig through the settings, this thing does have plenty of apps. So if you don't want to hook up your phone, as long as you can set up an internet connection with this thing, which I'd imagine you'd probably use your hotspot for, this is just a normal Android tablet. So you can go in and you can log into your normal Spotify. You can go to your apps here, and you have, you know, Google Chrome, you have Google Maps, you have the internet, you have Netflix if you want, you have Spotify here. And then you've got, you know, your video, your radio, Google Play Store. We can go through, change the wallpaper, YouTube. You know, we don't really care about that stuff now. If you end up going with this thing, you can use the discount code in the video description and get yourself one, and you can play with this yourself. But I'm mostly looking for what I'm going to be using it for, which is primarily going to be, you know, the CarPlay side of this. So we're going to go up here, hit this phone icon again right up here in the corner. That's going to bring us right back to where we are. So you can see this is my, you know, music that we're playing through Spotify. See how quickly it changes up on us, you know, if it can keep up. So we'll just go to, you know, library, hit some freaking August Burns Red, and bam, instant. So that's pretty rad. This thing is looking pretty good. Let me get this thing put back together now that I've confirmed it's working. Speakers just suck. Yeah, you can't even hear them. So I got to make sure everything's working all right, but I'll get this put back together and we'll ditz around in the settings a little bit more and we'll wrap this video up. All right, so you can tell everything works out pretty well. So I did have to trim this out a little bit to make it fit, but I didn't even have to use the mounting hardware. I got lucky and the previous thing actually worked. So all right, this thing, yeah, no, it turned out pretty darn great. So, you know, you can see it works out pretty darn well. Everything's working as it should. The Bluetooth is working great. I mean, there's so many different things that you can go over on this thing. It's got a whole bunch of different settings. Like I mentioned before, you got your Play Store, you got your radio, you got, you know, you can watch video on here. If you hook up the thing, you can check, you know, you can work it out with your vehicle. So this has, you know, management stuff that you can work with here. You know, you can even do OBD adapter stuff. Like I'm interested to figure out how all that works, because that would be awesome. So that might be for another video. Well, I'm not sure how to make that torque stuff work. It looks like it basically will feed you real-time data display somehow. Assumingly you probably plug into your OBD2 port, but like I mentioned, this thing really kind of does everything that you would expect a radio to do, and then more, because again, it's basically just a tablet, just, you know, shoved in your dashboard now. It's super easy to navigate. I mean, I'm an iPhone guy, and it's still pretty easy to get through here. You just find your basic settings, just swipe down where you need to swipe down. I mean, this thing can even do screen recording, and I'm not even sure what you would need that for on a radio. But yeah, the hotspot, we did figure out that it works, and you know, you can watch, you know, if you're daring, you can watch movies while you're driving and stuff. You know, you got Netflix, you can get signed in on there. But overall, it's a pretty solid unit, especially for the price. And they are having a sale on Prime Day, so you can get yours, again, using that link in the description. as for the backup camera, I realize I don't have all the wiring pieces. I just need a T-tap. I don't have a T-tap here, and it's 4th of July, like I mentioned, so the stores are closed. But to wire in the reverse camera, you just splice into your reverse switch. As for the dash cam, I can't install it this video either because my windshield needs to be replaced, and I'm not going to go ahead and put it on there because you only get one sticky pad. So I don't want to waste it trying to install it on a busted windshield. But yeah, once I get a T-tap, the reverse camera, like I showed you guys, it's just that one plug. You just got to run the wire yourself and then tap into your reverse lights in the back. It'll be your power wire out there. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Again, great solid product. If you want to pick it up, yeah, again, in the description, pin top comment as well. And it helps small creators like myself to be able to get more sponsorships and just, you know, get stuff going like this for us more, because it's you know, it's hard being a little guy. So if you did enjoy the video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you want to hit that subscribe button. I'm pretty stoked. The truck has some working radio now, and it turns out my speakers weren't even bad. I think the old radio was just dying and or wired in wrong because they sounded like crap before, but it's all working now, so I'm pretty stoked. So anyways, guys, thanks for spending some time out of your day here with me, and do what you love for the rest. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.